Welcome back to the channel, and I wanted to talk a little bit about this piece that I created. So this was for a comic book, well, not a comic book, but a comic that I made last year over the summer, and I was trying to do both a master studies of Eyvind Earle. I'm gonna post his stuff below, but he did the art for Sleeping Beauty, right? The backgrounds anyway. And I wanted something like that, but this is also a world building video based on that. So what you're seeing here is me trying to copy some of what I've seen him do and some of what I'm just kind of trying to do. I had so many brushes that I bought, had so many ideas. There is another video where somebody actually went through the process of how he does his art, and then I tried to emulate that because I wanted to show an open area where the characters were going to be seated, laying down and looking at each other and stuff. But I wanted to create it before they were there. So I wanted you to see that there was a magical forest in Meadows. And Meadows is in another part of my world it's kind of like England, but think like Washington, Oregon, where there's the rainforest there, the wet rainforests. So I had to look at the types of rainforests that are temperate, like the ones up there. And I got a bunch of different ones, and then I was like, okay, so I'm going to make it look like this. But what you see now is I'm actually using Eyvind's method, because he did these streakings to make it look like it was wood. I don't know how I felt about this, because I was a little bit weird. And you know what I actually did? For the background, to make it look like it was more populated, I took the original sketch. You could see it for a second. And I just made different versions of it, and I would horizontally move it backwards and then blur it and then move it upside down and blur it. I did so many different versions. I even tried to do it in grayscale, because I'm gonna tell you what, people will swear by grayscale, but my brain cannot do it. I cannot do it. So then it came that I needed to work on the foliage. Now I looked at real foliage to see what that looked like, but I had never actually managed to make foliage happen. Every time I try to draw backgrounds and try to get foliage together, it doesn't work, so I just decided it would be last. And as you can see, I'm trying to change where these things are, because somebody told me that there's not enough trees and there needs to be more mid-ground, background, foreground trees. So I moved some more trees around, and I tried to make it look like, you know that scene right in Sleeping Beauty where she's walking and you get to see the black trees up front and she's walking in between all them? That's kind of what I was trying to go for when I was working on this, or that's what I was trying to do anyway. I don't know if I really completed that, but now I'm doing the foliage. I got these brushes. I'm going to put them up on screen for a second so you can see them. These are probably the best brushes if you're going to do the little tiny baby details in work where it's oh, I got to put on these little trees and these little bushes and all these things that you got to do. You don't got to do that. But I also am going to link the Irwin brushes. I paid for the whole thing. I can't tell you how many brushes I own. I know people are you don't need that many. I have a brush for literally every occasion. So onto this thing, I decided that there needs to be a confirmed light, because I wanted there to be light coming through the forest, because when I imagined that there was an opening, there had to be more light than just shadows. And you'd be surprised at how difficult it is to try to be abstract like Eyvind is, while doing something realistic at the same time. But he was definitely more leaning abstract, and I want to be different than that. This is technically my own study of his style, but I want to do it my way, and I was trying to emulate both ways. And now is probably the most boring part, where I'm just trying to figure out how to make the trees and all that stuff look real and feel still like art, instead of feeling like a hyper-realism drawing, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to be hyper-realistic. I want to be more whimsy than that. But I'm not good at whimsy, which comes back to not being good at abstract. So I still needed my realistic looking stuff. And I tried so many brushes, from so many different people that put out realistic, foliage brushes, but none of them seemed to really work for me. except the one set that I used. Well, except the 2 sets that I used. Now I know this is like, I bet you guys can barely tell what I'm doing here, but I'm trying to engage in like where I'm going to put light, where it's going to come from. And you know the part I absolutely did not want to do? I did not want to do like the ground. You can kind of see it. I'm working on it over a little bit to the left. Now, I know this is like a speed paint, so you guys can't see it too well, but it's still in there. I wanted to keep it big so you guys could see the whole thing the whole time I'm working on it. Like, because the idea was that I was going to add a little bit more to the background so you could kind of see that it's like a full forest, you know? Ignore that. That was like literally for, like it was for TikTok. And I thought it would be fun if I just did that. And then I also decided that if this is going to be a master study, I need to do like ground. Like I need to do like a platform like he did those like sharp angled platforms. So I made one. And then I was like, well, now I got to move the trees all around all over again. And I was like, well, now it's starting to look a little bit more like I wanted. I think maybe I should have made the foreground trees maybe a little bit bigger so it would feel like they're closer, because they feel like the same size. I don't know, maybe it's me going post afterthought of this work, but I'm still really proud of it. And you should have seen me. I was looking for like moss, because when I looked up temperate rainforests, a lot of them have moss on one of the sides or all the sides everywhere. But I didn't want it to be too mossy. Not too mossy. I felt like too much moss was going to take away from all of the stuff I created. And then let me tell you, the part that I love about this drawing, my favorite part, you see the part where it has the tree that's a little bit angled, that has the tree on top of the little ledge. There's something about that is just so powerful to me. It speaks, like my art never speaks to me. But that part, I was like, oh, am I becoming a real artist now? Would someone pay me for this? Am I a real artist? I don't know if any of you guys have ever had that feeling where you look at your art and you're like, damn, this is a little bit professional. Like, this is professional. But also, you see the little little bush thing there. I did that based off of the tutorial that I saw the guy do. And I was like, no, I'm going to copy it one for one. I don't know how to make them bushes. I tried. And then I tried like putting my own flair on it, adding a little bit of cute stuff. Because he did it with a combination of brushes and drawing it in. And I tried to do the same, but make it a little bit different. So it didn't look like one for one. But here I am. I think I'm doing the light. No, I'm doing the moss now. I know. Okay, so the red marks that you see there are places where I wanted the eyes to go, because I wanted the eyes to move from the back part where you see the red. I was going to draw a bird, and the reason why I picked a red bird was because like I wanted something that moved the eye and that was catching, but also I thought it would be cute if maybe like it meant something to me. And so my grandma and my grandfather, like, they really loved birds, and he loved blue jays and she loved cardinals. And I just wanted to draw those specifically because I think that they're beautiful, and I thought it would be like a meaningful way to wrap up this really long drawing. And as you can see, I'm kind of just putting in the finishing touches, these little glowy things, and then I think I'm going to go in and do the last parts, which is the lighting. And the lighting, like, you know what's weird? Like, I did this so much on stream, I think people were getting sick of it. But I actually use like scratchy brushes for light, because I think that is just a little bit, it's not realistic, but I like it because I don't know, there's something about disjointed light fixtures coming in that's just very attractive to me. And then I tried to do so much. Like I'm always been doing too much. But if you like this video, I hope that you guys would subscribe to me and watch for more videos about my content. And I do have a Patreon and a VGen where I take commissions for $12 for line art flats. I have a Patreon if you guys want to support this channel, because this channel is going to be more my art channel where I talk about my art stuff and things that are just art related instead of my art news channel. So I hope you guys will be there for me. And I don't know, I kind of wanted to know what the feedback is for this, because I worked on this for 3 months. So I guess if you guys liked it and you don't know what to say, you guys can just comment a tree if you want. And I guess like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.